Hello, 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 and also hello. We just flicked the switch from two friends catching up to two friends podcasting. We're putting on the podcast voices and talking about music for the music podcast called Music Rules. My name is Jack.
My name is Fenn. 1 second ago, we were talking about difficulties exporting files and talking about how this morning we have both been doing small burps. But now we're right into business and we're ready to talk about music.
That's correct. Before we proceed, and maybe this could be a cool little bit of video content. What's that behind your mic on the wall? I think it's a little number I see.
That's my
nice.
Australian Idol number from when I auditioned for Australian Idol and received
Very
4
good.
no's. I guess
Hey,
they
but
couldn't handle all of this.
They couldn't handle all that. You know, who was there? Who was about all the bass? But she.
Megan Trainor was about all that bass.
Yeah, but
And
she
she
couldn't
said
handle-
that I should try putting stuff on YouTube. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking her advice.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks, Megan.
So smart.
Legend. The way she talks in the show is like borderline incomprehensible. It's like
Yeah. How is it?
her brain has been filled with so much TikTok slang that all of her sentences are like, "Oh, this is so mother. You were mother down for this," and it's like, oh, wait, this is a singing show.
Does she speak in the TikTok robot voice? This is literally me when I hear someone who should be on YouTube.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. She should speak in the old TikTok voice. It's like, yeah. Hello, I am talking like this.
I thought that was like a SpongeBob thing for ages, and then someone told me that it's just like a robot voice.
Yeah, and then
To me, that's what SpongeBob sounds like.
the new TikTok voice is like talking without breathing. It's like, today I went to the shops and I bought a better.
Oh yeah,
I went to the
yeah.
supermarket and I got a and doing like 100 things in a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Not even a space for breath. I think that's what we should be doing when we edit videos. People don't like to breathe anymore.
Yeah,
We can't be wasting people's time with
yeah. The only
between
time
words, you know.
you're allowed to leave a breath in an audio recording is if you're Tom York from Radiohead and you're about to sing like a really long note. He leaves the breaths
Like
in the
like you
recording.
go,
Yeah, he goes.
she's running out the door. That
That's
is
exactly
Thomas.
what you should do.
Yeah. But you know what? During that space when I did a little breath then, I bet we lost at least 40% of the audience because we can see all the analytics.
Yeah.
As soon as they heard
we
those
can see
two
it.
those two breaths, they were like, I'm out of here. I'm going to go watch Hamish and Andy.
Yeah. Did you know
The other
Tom
two
York's
funny
middle
guys.
name is New?
Tom New York. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's the man who never sleeps.
Yeah. He's the
That's-
big
that's
apple.
It's Tom New York. He's Lady Liberty.
Yeah.
That's
Holding
in New
that
York,
torch.
isn't it?
Yeah. I think I don't know.
That little creep.
We're just two bogans from Australia. What do we know about culture?
Oh, what do we know about culture?
With that being
If
said,
there's any country I want to remain ignorant of, it's America, because it's against all odds that we
and-
know nothing about America.
yeah, and if there's any country that we do want to be aware of, it's
It's Black Country New Road, which is the title of this episode. Oh,
Wow.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, man. I might have to stop recording. I've spilt some Coke on my ceiling, and now there's ants up there.
Oh, goddamn. Ants from up here.
I think, yeah, ants from up here. Yeah, up there. Ants from up there. Yeah, I can see the ants.
Actually, give me a second. I just need to eat this snack I made. It's it's very far down near the ground, and it's a bunch of raisins on some peanut butter on a stick of celery. Ants on a log. That's what you call that.
Okay, first question, first point of discussion. why didn't they call their album Ants on a Log? Because I feel like it would have been so much more easy to relate to.
It would have been much
like
more
us.
relatable. And yeah, I don't know. They should have done that. Well,
Yeah,
it's okay. It's still a good name.
it's still a good name, I guess.
I guess
Ants
so.
from up there, I guess. Kind of makes me think about being in a plane, looking down at people. I guess that's the imagery. Ants from up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was one of those
don't really
ants for
know.
a very long time because I lived directly under a flight path. And man, I tell you what, when you live so close to the airport, planes are so big.
Did you end up like tuning out of the noise after a while?
A lot of it was during COVID, so there was no flights, but
Okay.
so that was good. But not really. I mean, you do and you don't. You kind of tune it out. And then like when you go to a friend's house, you're like, whoa, this is so
Whoa.
quiet. There's no like
Something is missing.
deafening roar that makes it so loud that you can't hear the TV anymore.
Yeah.
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 But hey,
We should do a 1, 2, 3 music. I just remembered to sync.
1, 2,
2,
3,
3 music.
very
Nice.
good.
We'll leave that in, and that'll be really cool for the listener to get a peek behind the curtain, just how we operate, all the cool tech stuff we do. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, we're talking about Ants from Up There. This is an album I really, really like, but I haven't really done the same level of research into it this episode. But you know what? We're going to be learning together, and maybe we'll find some cool things out at the same time.
Yeah.
So let's start by listening to a track called Chaos Space Marine. And while I talk, I'm going to get it up. Chaos Space Marine. Makes me think of like
Warhammer
Warhammer.
40K.
No, it doesn't make me think of that. I just typed it in and it came up. I don't actually play Warhammer.
How embarrassing.
Do you
for
play
me.
Warhammer?
My brother, who will be listening to this, was relatively into Warhammer, and so
Warhammer
I kind
guy?
of got into it. I got like a starter pack. I played as Tau, who was like a
Tau?
special TAU.
Like would dry you off after a shower.
Yeah. I played as Tau.
Good old Tal. Did he say, okay, huh?
How dare you?
Little Tally?
How dare you besmirch the good name of Warhammer 40K? I also played
I'm
the
so
video
sorry.
game, which is a bit like Age of Empires.
Oh,
Yeah.
Warhammer. Is that's not Warcraft?
Oh no. Oh,
I
brother.
don't think I played Warhammer.
Warhammer, yeah, you got to paint all the figurines and stuff. Actually,
Yeah.
maybe it relates to the title Ants from Up Here. Because when you're painting figurines in Warhammer, they're pretty small. You have to use a very
Oh my
small
God.
brush.
Could you imagine if that's actually what it was like and we just cracked the code?
I mean, it could be.
It could be. All right, let's listen. 3, 2, 1, music.
And though England is mine, I must leave it all behind. The war is over, lift the anchors, set an open course for New York state lines. I think of all that went wrong. The sailor boys light up in song and they sing of London. Love they made there, will it really last? Anytime. What's that you said to me? Oh, I'm a chaos space marine, so what? I love you, darling, will you take my metal hand? It's cold, in time you will find these things take up space inside your mind, where you could be keeping honest thoughts of the sea alone. So I'm leaving this body
I love that that's it's the same riff as the opening, but it's just been slowed down by half.
It strikes me as something that was so obviously written in a room together, as opposed to like composed by one person and brought to the, because it's got the sort of energy of like, I'm envisioning them in the room together going, yeah, here's this idea, blah, blah, blah. And then going like, whoa, this feels really good to play. Like,
Yeah.
let's slow it down and let's like, let's try it in this different context.
Yeah, totally.
It's very joyous. And this is like a bit of a theme throughout the whole album, but it's kind of like a bit dorky.
Oh yeah, this album has total like band geek / theater kid energy.
Yeah.
Like maximalism.
I'm so glad you thought so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so unashamed. The other thing we talked about last week was, pandiatonicism in 1975's, the opening track, the 1975. This album is like the opposite in that like every single bit of the harmony is functional. Like it's all propelling you to like a new place.
Yeah.
100% band geek energy. I think you're correct on that.
Yeah. This is funny because I'm about to relate this to a piece of music that's non-functional. But
Yeah.
there's a piece of music by Steve Wright called Four Organs. And it's just basically the same riff. It happens over and over again. But eventually I think it just keeps halving in tempo. Or like halving in speed. Until it is like painfully slow. And it just becomes like this piece of drone music. So that was just, I guess, a funny comparison to the halving the riff. Another example I can think of this being done is the song Teenage Riot by Sonic Youth, where they have the riff is played halftime at the beginning and then it goes double time. So it's kind of like the reverse thing. But yeah, it's really cool. It's interesting they started writing this in lockdown, I think.
Really?
That's really interesting to me, but I think they played it a lot live together before they released it, or maybe before they recorded it. I don't know exactly what their process is. Apparently, they improvise a lot, so it makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that would check out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the guitarist / singer left 4 days before the album came out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, it's sort of, and I found that out maybe like a little way into my analysis or like study of these 3 tracks, and really puts a different spin on things. Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Well, actually, I can imagine you'd have to be in a very particular place to be wanting to leave a band that is undoubtedly like on the uprise, like on the upswing. Heaps of people listening. It debuted at number 3 on the UK charts.
Wow.
Just crazy. Everyone loves it, but this guy was just having a very bad time.
Yeah.
I think like some sort of mental health issues.
Yeah.
And
Isaac Wood.
Yeah, Isaac Wood.
Yeah.
Yep.
He really brings a lot to this album, so it'll be very interesting to see what they do next. Apparently, they've been making music and recording and stuff.
Yeah, they want to do something orchestral, and they
That's
want to
cool.
do something. Well, I think like the bass player is stepping forward to do main vocal duties.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think I read it
yeah.
was like being split between a few of them, even the vocal duties. But yeah, he definitely has a lot of character and a lot of presence. And yeah, he's a good lyricist as well. It's very earnest, a lot of the lyrics.
Yeah.
I read somewhere they were listening to a lot of Arcade Fire, which I was like,
Oh.
that definitely checks out. Like hearing this kind of big baritone voice and these big arrangements. There's sort of a sense of epicness to the proceedings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't really listened to like that much Arcade Fire beyond like the main big tunes, like
Yeah.
8 years ago or whatever. But yeah, surely Arcade Fire aren't this kind of I guess like loose and compositional.
No,
like,
they're not. No, it's just, I think that's just one point of reference for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just took it vocally and kind of put it into a different context or something.
Maybe. Yeah, I read a review of this, Ian Cohen's review on Pitchfork, which is good review. I would recommend reading. And he kind of said that like there was a lot of music like this between 2004 and 2007. Like this really ambitious, like slightly uncool, kind of like that theater kid energy that we were talking about. People like Sufjan Stevens as well. He had his like 50 States project, which is the album Come On Feel the Illinois is like very huge, big orchestral, like lots of different instruments. Really ambitious, like 22 song album. So it reminds me of that era of music. Which is really nice for me.
It is nice. I mean, like we're like, we're the target audience. Hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we're the people that are just kind of like a bit like unafraid to be a bit camp in what we like or listen to or write.
I mean, I like musical theater now. So anything
well, we
goes.
did a musical together.
Yeah, we did. We performed a musical together.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, I'm pretty sure this band is younger than me. 90% sure. I haven't checked their ages, but when he says that somebody has Billie Eilish style, I'm like, oh yeah, they're definitely younger than me.
Yeah, like I probably wouldn't. Yeah, I'm looking at them now. Far out, they look young. They look like the cast of Skins or something.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They look like season 9 of Skins. Look them up. That's nuts.
Yeah, I've seen a photo. It's crazy. They're like super young. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But good for them.
Yeah, they
making something so cool and ambitious
good,
at such
good
a
for
young
them.
age. Yeah,
Good. I'm happy
good
for
for
them.
these guys. I'm
Good
not
for
jealous
them.
at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad you're with me on the dorky thing.
Yeah.
It's so dorky, but I love it. I think it was Jono that showed me this band first.
Yeah.
And I think he gave me he introduced it as like, oh, this is a band that's like friends with Black Midi. And I'm like not crazy about Black Midi.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I am the target audience once again. And it's probably the most amount of people who've been listening to math rock in recent times.
You know what I am crazy about? The YouTube genre of Black Midi, which is all like, how many notes can we fit into a single second? And it's like 1 million notes per second. If you can put an audio clip of that Black Midi right here. That would be
you
awesome.
you guys are at the, I'll put it in, don't worry. You guys are at the Black Midi concert, hanging out, having a good time, listening to some crazy music. I'm at home 1 to 2 centimeters away from my monitor, just watching those piano roll notes.
Yeah, watching
dash
those
down.
crazy colors.
And I'm having the best time.
Having the best time.
Maybe we'll do a Black Midi thing one day. I got to give him another go. But anyway,
let's
move on to the next song.
You don't have to give anything another go.
Well, then I won't. I'll never go back to it. I'll continue being ignorant. Let's listen to The Place Where He Inserted the Blade. Goes for about 7 minutes, so buckle up.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Music.
You're scared of a world where you're needed, so you never made nice with the locals, but you tied me up slow with your vine stuff. It takes a few years, but they break bones. It takes a few months, but our bones heal. We're stronger, and we tell all our school friends, and they sign our cast in the playground. Darling, the rest of my body, it's yours then. I know you're scared. Well, I'm scared too. Oh, but every time I try to make lunch for anyone else in my head, I end up dreaming of you, and you come to me. Good morning. Show me the place where he inserted the blade. Oh, praise the Lord, burn my house. I get lost, I freak out. You come home and hold me tight as if it never happened at all. Good morning. Show me the place where he inserted the blade. Good morning. Where is your light? Am I home? I will hold to my chest. Where the wind can exist, I will try not to keep you too long. So clean your soup maker and breathe in your chicken, broccoli, and everything. The tug that's between us, that long string, concord bound to in my evening. The good hunter's guide to a bad night. Darling, I'll spoil it myself. Thanks, you're leaving. Well, I tried just to stroke your dreams better, but darling, I see that you're not really sleeping. And I know you're tired. Well, I'm tired too. Oh, but every time I try to make lunch for anyone else in my head, I end up dreaming of you, and you come to me. Good morning. Show me the place where he inserted the blade. Oh, praise the Lord, burn my house. I get lost, I freak out. You come home, hold me tight as if it never happened at all.
Very cool.
Very
Thank you, Black Country New
nice.
Road.
How interesting. Their name is Black Country New Road, and they write a song that uses many of the black keys on the piano.
Correct, because this song is in F sharp major.
F sharp major.
Yeah, beautiful song. It makes me so sad that this vocalist left.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that's kind of part of the aura of this album is that he's gone.
It's a breakup
Which is
album.
a weird thing to say, but it's like this makes it kind of more special in a way.
Yeah, it does,
know.
really. It makes it significant, feels significant. He keeps referencing in the lyrics this airplane crash, the Concorde, in which a Concorde departed Paris and it crashed shortly after leaving and killed all 107 passengers on board.
Whoa.
It's quite a dramatic metaphor for a relationship. Quite shocking imagery to use, I guess.
Yeah.
It's
I
interesting.
thought the comparison was about, because why was the Concorde, like, why did they stop flying it? I heard it was because it was like extremely loud, but then again, I was also like 8 years old.
No, it was because of this. Because it killed 100 people.
Oh, really?
They grounded all the Concordes after that.
But like, don't planes just crash sometimes? Like, why did they particularly retire the Concorde? Is it unsafe?
I think so. I don't know exactly. Yeah, I'm no
Bring it back.
airplane scientist. Bring it back. Bring it back. That's the
Bring it
official
back.
position of music rules.
Yeah.
Bring back this
Bring back the
vocalist to the
Concorde.
band.
Oh yeah, and also bring Isaac back.
Well, only if he
actually,
wants to come back.
only
It's
if he
up to
wants
him.
to. Yeah, it's up
We're
to
not
him.
going to force him. We're not going to fly to
No.
London or
Well,
wherever.
you might not force him, but I will.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely gonna push him back in the band.
I'm going to fly to London on a Concorde. Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no, my Concorde's going down. My plan is foiled.
That
One
is
thing
what
I love
British
about
people be like.
this song,
Sorry, you
Oh,
continue
sorry.
that thought.
yeah, we're talking at the same time. Online Zoom much.
Yeah, all that magic from the in-person,
Yeah.
the in-person recording gone, dashed upon the rocks.
Wow, you sound like you're singing Black Country New Road songs.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Very poetic. Yeah, I love
Kinda
the chord
pretty.
progression at the opening of this song. It's a very fun and easy technique to use to create a chord progression, which is you play a major chord and then you just descend your bass note by a semitone each time, and then it creates these cool, interesting chords. So they just do it like 4 times to create a 4 chord progression.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you end up using like chords you may not otherwise use. You can also do it the other way, like you can change the top note, make the top note go up a semitone, so something like this. That's making the top note go up
Yeah.
a semitone, or you can go down. That's the chord progression they use in this, where they're making the bottom note go down a semitone. You could try to do it with a middle note, you get a bit stuck.
They
that's
they
kinda
do
interesting
a
too.
little bit in the beginning of this song with the da, 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 dun, 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 dun. Da, da, da. They go to the because
The
they're in
minor
F sharp,
4
they go to
chord.
B and they go minor, a major, minor.
Yeah.
Once again, I think that has got a lot to do with the bass note. That's wriggling around to and fro, putting it in different contexts.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like 100% musical. Hey, that like first like, oh, my guitar's so out of tune. What's the second chord? It's like F sharp, and then it goes down to F in the bass.
I think it's like a B flat minor chord or an A sharp minor chord.
Yeah, and then it goes down to E. Show me that place, and then to the 4, and then minor 4 sometimes. Da,
Yeah.
da, 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 da. Yeah.
Whatever it is. That's
whatever
kinda
it
like
is.
the general technique
Yeah.
that they're using.
Yeah, lyrically, I had a look on YouTube, and just while I was listening, and some guy was like, This is Nat Dog. 5 months ago, Nat Dog wrote, my interpretation of the lyrics will be the narrator who is hurt is trying to rekindle their relationship with someone who used to be in an abusive relationship.
Whoa.
I.e., show me the place he inserted the blade. Sharing the pain has made them codependent since both of them are trying to heal.
I don't know if I agree with that interpretation.
No?
I feel like
I think
it's...
I'm a bit sold on it, but I'd love to hear your interpretation.
I would say that, I mean, not to assume, but I feel like this YouTube commenter is taking poetic lyrics too literally, maybe.
Right.
Because, I mean,
Fair enough.
this singer, he likes to speak in metaphors, as evidenced by comparing the end of a relationship to a plane crash that killed 100 people.
True.
So I wouldn't say, like, it's not all so literal. It could just be, like, somebody who's been hurt in a previous relationship, just in the way that relationships can do that, not necessarily abusive or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's true.
I mean, I don't want to assume anything. It definitely could be valid, but yeah.
Because you can you can suffer any sort of crap, any sort of notice me like scanning my brain for a non-swear word to use just then.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
processing.
the person who's the romantic interest has an annoying boss. It could be
like,
I guess
that's exactly right. But even it doesn't even have to be a person. It could just be like a thing that happened, and you can personify it as a guy stabbing you, because that's a really hectic and cool way to talk about a metaphor or whatever.
Yeah, and this guy definitely seems like he's into kind of fantasy and I mean the genre of fantasy. If he's into Warhammer or Warhammer 40k. There's another track where he talks about fashioning a longsword.
Oh, really?
So,
wow,
that's
the
kind
sort
of
of
like...
the nerdy things keep coming out, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
But,
so I wouldn't take this necessarily literally.
Too literally, yeah.
Because he also says that he burns his house, and I don't think he did that either.
No.
But maybe he did. I guess the ultimate point is, like, we don't need to take songs so literally all the time.
No.
And even though it's very tempting to try and to ascribe meaning to things, it's better to kind of...
But as a counter to that, though, the when we were doing the 1975 last week, there was that song. Was it part of the band? There was a bit where he says, "You were part of the Air Force. I was part of the band," and all of the YouTube commenters are going, "Oh, what does this Air Force thing mean?" And then some British guy is like, "Well, she was probably just part of the Air Force, and he was part of the band." Like that, it could be just like, it's more likely to be literal. That you just have a relationship with someone from a...
But that song is kind of a perfect example, because I think none of the things in that song are even real in that part of the band song. Like it's just like a collection of kind of stream of consciousness, random lyrics. Or like maybe some of it is real, but I don't know. It's interesting. It's it's cool. Everyone should put their interpretations out there, and I think that's fine. But this is my interpretation.
Fair enough. I think it's nice to create an atmosphere where artists can just say things that aren't always real. I think that's what I'd take away from that. Is that I think that, and I also think that maybe this genre, not to like be too mean about it, but this genre of people or like artists or people who love music and consider it incredibly sincere and incredibly like far more real and authentic than other styles of music. I think they're definitely trapping themselves if they think that every single thing has to be entirely true and entirely literal. Because then you just end up writing songs like, "We watched Netflix, I felt bad.
Yeah.
I went home and rang my dad.
Oh yeah.
Then I bought cigarettes. I hate smoking, but I am addicted." It's just like It's like, why not talk about getting stabbed or a plane crash? Like, it is so much
Exactly.
more exciting.
You can say literally anything. Like, no one can stop you. You're not going to get sued for, like, saying crazy stuff on a song.
You could just do whatever. Just go for it. It doesn't have to be so
Just go for it.
literal.
It's kind of a nice thing about this band. They go for it.
They go for it because they demonstrate that you can be authentic, you can be sincere, you can be wonderful, and all of these things, but you don't have to just be boring or talk about catching the tube somewhere.
Ooh,
I don't know, what do British people do?
From London. You know why we had to do this album? Because he says towards the end, show me the fifth of the cadence you want me to play.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I thought that was maybe that was him talking about being like a bit directionless or something, or a bit kind of.
And he mentions on another
having
track,
a fifth or a cadence pushes you in a direction.
Right, it does. Yeah. He also mentions on another track, not to be literal minded, but that this person that he's talking about is a piano player or something, or a keyboard player.
Right.
He talks about them playing keyboard for like a group of their friends one night when the Wi-Fi went out or something.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
And
lyric.
they all huddled around their altar. So maybe it's some kind of reference to them both.
Yeah,
being
this album
musicians.
seems to contain a lot of those sort of things.
Yeah.
There's like self-referential. I think, are you fine if we dive into our last track, Good Will Hunting?
Yeah. Written and directed. No. Directed by Gus Van Sant. Written by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Good
Yeah,
Will Hunting.
this is a movie. Hey, I haven't seen the movie. What's the movie about?
The movie is about a janitor who is freakishly good at maths.
Whoa.
And they put up this like impossible problem on the blackboard.
Oh.
And like whoever solves it at this university gets a prize.
Yeah.
And he just solves it and like doesn't tell anybody, and everyone's freaking out. They're like, whoa, what? Like, who solved this?
Who did this?
And then they eventually figure out that it was Matt Damon, the janitor.
Oh.
And he's like a real Boston guy.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot better than what that sounds like. There's a lot of Elliott
Like,
Smith songs on the soundtrack.
Oh, well, then it has to be good.
Yeah.
Music by Danny Elfman?
No,
Does he go? This is Good Will Hunting. Dun, 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 dun. I've never heard Danny Elfman do anything that wasn't like a little bit like, camp
I
or
said
dorky
Elliott
or something.
Smith.
Wait, I thought that meant that Elliott Smith put in... Yeah, no, there is Elliott Smith songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Are you
just,
looking up Danny? Oh, you're looking up the movie and
No,
you
no,
saw that.
Danny Elfman like did the music
Oh, okay,
direction.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't realize you were also looking up the movie, and I thought like
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
misheard me, and you're like, but yeah,
Confused Elliott Smith for Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, they're so stylistically similar.
There's a great video of Elliott Smith performing at the Oscars, and he's wearing this suit, and it's like 2 sizes too big, and he's so awkward on stage. It's just like a perfect moment.
Got a real David Byrne thing going on.
Yeah,
Is that the
but
Talking Heads
unintentional.
fella?
That's the Talking Heads
Yeah.
fella. Anyway,
Yeah.
we should listen.
Yeah,
to
let's
this
let's
next
play this song.
You walk up on the raised edge, hands out for balance. Slipping, you almost grab mine, but you find your feet. And I never wanted so much someone to fall. It's just been a weekend, but in my mind we summer in France with our genius daughters now. And you teach me to play the piano. You call, I'll be there. What's more, I'm scared of the phone. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just trying to find. Don't ring it, please know that I'm just t She had Billie Eilish style. Moving to Berlin for a little while, trying to find something to hold on to. Never texts me nothing, but she wants to tell me she's not that hard to find, and message me if you change your mind, darling. I'll keep fine. And if we're on a burning starship, the escape pods filled with your friends, your childhood film photos, there's no room for me to go. Oh, I'd wait there, float with the wreckage, fashion a long sword, traverse the Milky Way, trying to get home to you, and you bring some piece of the stars. Call, I'll be there once more. I'm scared of the phone. Don't ring it. Please know that I'm just trying to find some way to keep me in your mind. And later on, everyone will say it was cool. She had Billie Eilish style. Moving to Berlin for a little while, trying to find something to hold on to. Never texts me nothing, but she wants to tell me she's not that hard to find, and message me if you change your mind, darling. I'll keep fine. Everyone will say it was cool. Oh, she had Billie Eilish style. Moving to Berlin for a little while, trying to find something to hold on to. Never text me nothing, but she wants to tell me she's not that hard to find, and message me if you change your mind, darling. I'll keep fine.
Yes, 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 yes. My favorite track off the album. The first track of this band I ever heard, and an absolute vibe. I'm going to throw to you, Fenn. What do you reckon?
I reckon it's awesome. I think that's a very cool track. And I think I also had this one extremely stuck in my head for a very long time. Very catchy stuff.
I love the Billie Eilish reference comes back.
Yeah. He references it in the Space Marine song, and then it comes back again.
Yeah.
Right
One
here.
of the YouTube commenters was like, what did he say? He was like, yeah, Billie Eilish style is like, it's like when you get cannibalized by the music industry.
And that is definitely an overreach.
I was like you think about someone who's moving to Berlin, it's not unlikely that they just might look like Billie Eilish.
Yes.
Which is definitely how I interpret it the first time.
This is like a special kind of mental illness that's brought on by spending too much time on genius.com.
Yeah, it's I mean, I kind of like, I'm sure you do too, but I kind of like that people just come up with these wacky
These wild
kinda,
interpretations.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
I
it's
do.
really
I
cool.
do like it. I think it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
it must be nice for the band too, or maybe they hate it. I don't know. If it
Yeah,
was me,
people.
I would find it interesting at least.
Yeah, I don't.
Um,
I've never had it happen to me, and someone sort of go that deep into anything I've written. Or
yeah.
although I did have someone at a Basil's Kite gig the other night who knew the time signatures and was air drumming to it,
Whoa,
and that was enough for me to feel incredibly happy.
that's pretty
So
cool.
I think I'd prefer that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, in terms of like pouring through and tearing apart songs I've written lyrically and that are probably very deep to me, personal.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't feel so good. I'd
Yeah,
probably want
maybe
people
not.
to
But
step
it's
off.
funnily enough, like naturally, that's the style of music that people are most wanting to pull apart lyrically, is stuff that is
Yeah,
really personal and
deeply
emotional,
personal.
and
Mm.
I would say a little bit nerdy. That
Yeah,
really attracts a certain kind of person who wants to really
yeah,
delve into the meaning of every word and every sentence.
yeah.
I did it so when we were first I was doing some research, and that research consisted of searching the term Black Country New Road on Twitter and seeing what people I follow had said about it. And there was one tweet from the aforementioned Jonathan Took, and he said the chord that plays when Isaac sings, "I'm scared of the phone," scratches a very particular itch for me or something. And it's so true. It's
Right.
like this,
Wh-
it's this little like,
Where can I hear this chord?
I think it's something like that.
Mm.
Like this kind of chromatic, like augmented chord. It's either that or this. But one of them.
What's the exact chord? I have my
B
guitar and I
flat,
wish to
D,
learn
F
it.
sharp, A. It's like B flat
B
major
flat,
7 with a raised 5.
D, E flat,
B flat.
D, B flat, D, F sharp, A. Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, like, it's a cool chord, but it's also just 100% musical theater to me, in a way.
Yeah.
Like, it's like...
And it's doing a similar thing. The bass is going up chromatically while there's like that riff on top of it. And the bass is going boom, 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 boom. Yeah. I mean, it's satisfying. It is a cool chord. It's really cool.
It's satisfying, but it's also... I think it's more than a chord progression for me. To me, it's like the rhythm that really drives it and makes it stand out compared to other tracks on this album. Because there's
rhythm.
there's interesting rhythmic concepts throughout, but this is probably the one that's like probably tickles me in the most specific way, where I'm like, yeah, this is my thing. Yes,
Specific
it's like
tickle.
specific tickle. That's my biography name. Yeah, it's kind of got this like it's got this amazing thing with the drums where they just sort of move accents and just shift the entire riff into a whole different dimension.
Yeah. We call that a metric modulation, baby.
Yes, I like the shift a lot. It was Jono who showed me this, and he showed it to us after a long day of recording at Parliament Studios for the Basil's Kite album.
Right.
Because he was producing the album, and it was like I just was not in a mood to listen to anything whatsoever. Like, I'd really just had enough.
No
just
more
after,
music.
pretty much. Like I get that way a lot, which is probably why I listen to so many podcasts. Like, just after being around music all day, it's just like, oh, shut up. Like, I don't care.
I'm the same.
But Jono was incredibly pushy about this. He was like, "Got to listen to this," and he made me sit there and listen to it. And then I was like, "Okay, this is actually like kind of the best thing I've ever heard."
Yeah,
It's
you're like,
extremely cool.
Fine, this is awesome. Whatever.
Fine, you win again, Mr. Took. Full of a took. And yeah, so I listened to it and I was immediately sold. I used a lot of the rhythmic ideas from this song in my song that we're going to play soon.
Let's talk about that rhythmic idea specifically, because like the opening He's like,
Doodle-doo-doodle-doo.
it's kind of in 6/8 or something. It's like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then it changes in the chorus, I think it is, whatever
Yeah,
the you call,
because
I'll be
it
there.
brings in the bit that with the extra pentatonic, the diddle da diddle da boom boom boom.
Yeah, and then it changes to just like
boom, boom,
almost like 2/4. 1 1 2.
But then
But
the
the
bass
quavers
is
stay
like
the same. Like the quavers are going at the same speed, so it goes from like da 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 da, which is really fun.
It is really fun. And I think texture-wise and instrumentally, maybe the drummer doesn't get enough clout, but they deserve clout because it is so tasty and they stay out of the way of the vocals,
Oh yeah,
which is a very special thing to think about. And most drummers don't think about it.
It's so
You
nice.
should be playing to everyone, including the vocalist.
yeah. It's really nice to hear a drummer play something simply and just completely in the pocket, like
100%.
so, like just nails it.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do.
Yeah,
It's just hard to play drums in general. Every time we talk about drummers, I'm just like, that's hard to do. This is also hard to do. It's hard to play simple. It's hard to play complex.
And I'm
hard
like,
to
yes,
play
I
drums.
agree. It is hard to play drums. It's easy to program drums. I love to do that. It's so much fun. Programming
love
little
to-
fills and things.
Yeah, that is fun.
I don't have to learn how to do the actual thing. I just sit there and click a button.
One thing that I didn't mention, so the song that I made last week, the way that I chose the drum sound on GarageBand was because it was called Manchester, and the 1975 are from Manchester.
Nice. That's how you
This
got
is the
that
kind of-
classic Manchester sound.
Yes, this is the kind of deep thinking that goes into this show and the music that we make.
Yeah.
But-
You know, if you didn't say that, I guarantee one of our fans, or maybe you, dear listener, would have figured that out and probably put it on the internet.
Probably.
This is the kind of community we want to cultivate.
Yeah, we want to cultivate like a fan theory, conspiratorial community.
Yeah, maybe there could be like a music rules wiki where people listen and they call us out when we're wrong.
Yeah.
Like for instance, when I said that the Terms guitarist uses low tunings, that was incorrect.
For instance, when I said that the song The 1975 is in F major, it's not. It's in A.
Oh, see, that is really unforgivable.
Yeah.
Because we're here and we're purportedly the people who know about the music rules.
Yeah.
And yet we failed on two fronts. We got to do
did.
better. We
I
gotta
pledged to do better.
Yeah.
I didn't have my keyboard in front of me. It felt like I was missing a limb.
All right. Well, everyone will say it was cool. That's one. Before we move on, this is just the last thing I want to talk about.
Yeah, lyrically. Let's talk about this lyrically a little bit.
Yeah. So, where he says everyone will say it was cool, that made me so sad because he left the band. And you know, I will say it was cool. It was super cool what you did, Isaac.
Yeah.
I really like it. Thank you so
think-
much.
In context, it seems like he's trying to do something to get this romantic interest to remember him.
Yeah.
It's like, it was so funny when I heard it the first time. I was just thinking like, oh yeah, like you're at a party or something and like you know, I don't know, you try to do something to get someone to notice you, and then and then later everyone is like, yeah, that was cool when he did that weird thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking when I was listening to it. But he's talking, I think, specifically about calling her on the phone.
I thought this was talking about the love interest moving to Berlin with Billie Eilish style.
Well, yeah. So maybe that's how he's trying to keep him in her mind or whatever.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, the moving to Berlin for a little while. Like I've had friends who've moved to Berlin for a little while, and
Yeah.
I sit there and I'm like, that's so cool.
My friend
It
Tim,
is really cool.
our friend Tim Cheeseman,
Mm.
moved to Berlin.
He went to
for a while.
Berlin.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone did say that was cool. Probably.
Yeah, it was cool when he did that.
Yeah.
So this song, to me, it feels like he's kind of longing for this like interest to be reciprocated. It feels like this affection is very one-sided at the moment. I find the opening lines like really kind of sad. It's like it kind of describes this scene where I'll just read it, but you walk up on the raised edge, hands out for balance, slipping you almost grab mine, but you find your feet. And I never wanted so much for someone to fall. It's so sad. Like he wants her to kind of trip over so that she'll actually hold his hand for once, or show him some kind of affection, or some kind of, or for there to be any kind of small amount of connection between them. You know?
Yeah. Or probably like maybe it speaks as well to the desire to be needed. I guess
100%. Because then later on, if we're on a burning starship, the escape pods filled with your friends, your childhood film photos, there's no room for me to go. Sad.
Yeah. Wow. Wait.
And that's when he fashions the longsword out of the wreckage of the burning spaceship, which is a very Warhammer 40k image.
It is. It kind of reminds me. I'm just gonna look up the lyrics for it because it's such a cool. I'll look at autocorrected because I've looked them up recently. There's a band called I Hate Myself, and they're like an emo band from the 90s. I think 97 is when this came out, this song. And they got a song called Caught in a Flood with the Captain of the Cheerleading Squad. And it's a great song. It's so unashamedly like angsty, and he talks about like being stuck in a tree with this woman, or this girl, I guess, because it's a high school thing. And the water's rising, and he's just like, if it'd make you comfortable, I'd jump out this tree, or maybe we could be married, and maybe we could get married and be happy. These few words could be the last we ever speak. Do you think maybe you could love me or like me, maybe?
Oh my God.
It's just like, and that's kind of like, I guess I wanted to bring it up because it's a distillation of this idea of like, like what if we, what if we had a thing, and what if it was like, I like that. It's very unashamed.
It is very unashamed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it says, we summer in France with our genius daughters now, and you teach me to play the piano.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, it's 100% kind of delusional in a way. Maybe not 100%, but there's elements of like, damn.
Or just like thinking ahead to a future that doesn't exist yet. And it's hard to tell, but it seems like the person on the other side of this fantasy isn't thinking about the same things. Maybe, like
100%.
I can't really tell. Like, is like, are they in a relationship or not, or whatever the deal is, but they might be in a relationship, but maybe for him it's more serious than it is for her.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. With all these really massive kind of metaphors about burning starships and escape pods, and the stakes are so much higher for him as opposed to the love interest.
Yeah, he really does a good job of showing the stakes of these feelings through the use of like metaphor and poetic language and all this stuff. He really kind of gets you to feel what he's feeling, as well as his vocal delivery is very emotive as well. Yeah, it's nice. It took me a while to get into, but I really like it now. Yeah.
Can I show you my song, Fenn Idol?
Yes, I would love to hear it.
Cool. I went to a friend's place the other day. This dude is building his own house out of clay. And I've never felt so insecure. Building something intangible. Brain smoothening infantil. Smoothening my brain. Keep dulling the pain. It hurts to speak 'cause you've been screaming. 5 little monkeys jumping on my bed, stomping on my head. And the old hill to bang the war drum, while every spare space is covered with Shenyun. The commitment to the era was sound. The women danced well with their feet bound. And I'm too scared to post on the internet, 'cause people are vicious and they don't forget. They don't forget. Sword fighting your best friends by the toilet bowl. Way back when you used to worry about walking in time with the music. Now you're an open little freak, big shoes, clown smile. Mickey mousing round the house with half the nastiness and all the fun. Big shoes, clown smile. Mickey mousing round the house. After 3 or 4 years of deliberation, I called the doctor, and the doctor said, bad news. Turns out the world is bad. Turns out the world's just bad. Turns out the world's bad. Turns out the world's just bad. Turns out the world's bad. Idiot, you're a typical man with white gloves on your feet, bootstraps in your hand, all the privilege and half the understanding. Turns out the world's just bad. Turns out the world's bad. Turns out the world's just bad. Turns out the world's bad. Turns out the world's just bad. Turns out the world's bad. Turns out the world's just bad. Turns out the world's bad. Turns out the world's just bad. Turns out the world's bad. Turns out the world's just bad. Turns out the world's bad.
Wow. Wowee. That was really, really good. I would say that's, yeah, maybe my favorite of the songs that you've made for this podcast. It's really so cool. And you did so many cool things rhythmically, like you talked about, but you even kind of took their rhythmic ideas a little bit further, which was great. I love the lyrics. They're like super funny and like poignant at the same time. Oh my gosh, the Shenyun reference. I just saw that in the lyrics that you sent me. And I like that there's like an interaction with a doctor, because that also happens on the Black Country New Road album, where he says like, the doctor said they're running out of ways to treat. What a funny way to speak. But yours is a little different. The doctor prescribing that the world is bad. Ooh, we've lost internet. God damn it.
It was at this point that we lost connection with one another. But When I listened back and heard the nice things that Fenn said about my song, I felt a deep sense of connection. Please enjoy the rest of the episode where we repaired our internet. Thank you. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
That was like I was sitting there just basking in all the warmth of the nice things you were saying, and then you just froze and disappeared.
As is the way.
I did hear the nice things you were saying, and I very much appreciate it. I'm particularly happy with this one too. They're such a fun band to kind of take on, and you're right. I did develop their rhythmic ideas just a little bit more, because I sort of that bit in like towards the end, the drums shift in a really dramatic way, and I forget the sort of the way that I pushed it, but I think I remember just zooming in on the grid and then being like, how can I fit 4 across this 3 pattern? So maybe it's a 4/3 thing. I don't really remember.
Yeah, it was kind of like, definitely felt like 4/3, but then maybe there was like an extra little bit or something at the end.
What I did do is I did slow down the tempo a little bit in that part too, because I wanted it to seem like it was real people playing it. Because I think you really run the risk with this style of music, or with any sort of rhythmic subdivisions or things like that, where if it's all programmed and you just move up by different divisions, it sounds so mechanical, and maybe even more mechanical than if you were just doing 4 to the floor. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I was thinking that the drums sound really good in this. Your $100 drums.
Oh, I'm so glad it was worth it. Hey.
Yeah, no, they do sound really good.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might.
But definitely, yeah, when you're programming drums, or when anyone is programming drums, it's helpful to like not have everything quantized, not have everything snapped to the grid.
100%.
If you want it to sound like a human.
Yeah. And if you wanted real like drum sounds, you can just use an electric kit, but do it through MIDI, and it can sound much more legit. That is if you got the space for it, which I don't. I'm just a clicky boy, just clicking on everything. Yeah, lyrically, I tried to, like the opening of the song is about a very literal thing that happened to me. I went to a friend's place and he's building a house out of clay that he's going to live in. And it made me feel so jealous. It is so cool. Everyone will say it was cool. And I did say it was cool. And I still think it's so cool. And it also made me feel
really cool,
horrible and insecure, because while he's building a house, I'm driving to work a lot. And I'm really tired and exhausted, and I'm probably eating too much fast food. And this mofo's just got a house. It's the best thing I've ever seen. And
these damn overachievers.
I know. Lyrically, I tried to like add in stuff as well about working as a music therapist, and like there's references to 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed, stomping on my head, in the way that work.
Oh yeah, that song.
Kind of work tends to take over and interrupts creative pursuits, which is so sad, and it makes me really upset from time to time. And so I channeled that. And
I love the screaming in the background.
Yeah, I had to do a real scream.
Nice.
Originally, it was way louder, and then this morning I did a bounce, so I turned the scream down. But
It's fun recording that sort of thing when you have like housemates. Just like, you.
Well, luckily, I don't have housemates right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's got a little bit of a gap here. So doing all sorts of things like, walking around the house in my underwear and just kind of screaming in my in my recording room, stuff like that.
Yeah. Very nice.
But yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm probably going to tidy this up and maybe release it as a single too.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for listening, listener. And today did turn out to be a bit of a long one, but hey, this is an epic band, so it is what it is.
We had to do it.
And we're freaking epic friends, and we have epic chats that are so cool and epic. So go and pull out your Spotify app or whatever, rate us 5 stars, Follow us on Instagram. Support Black Country
Music
New
Rules
Road.
Cast.
Yeah, Music Rules Cast, that's us. And we'll see you next week for, let's just say, something might get a little bit poppy in here.
What? Oh, yeah.
That was the worst. Anyway.
Let's say the temperature's going down. It's getting cooler here in Sydney.
Oh, yeah. But for now, we are finished.
That's right. Music rules.
Music Rules, bye.